Welcome to Glitches to Gold, a weekly podcast birthed from my obsession with living a successful life. It began with chasing an Olympic dream and resulted in a 30-year obsession explored through sport, neuroscience, psychology, energetics, quantum mechanics, religion, art, and beauty. Sometimes chasing and achieving external markers, and at others experiencing the absolute opposite. Yet both taught me the same undeniable truth, and I'm here to share what I have discovered in the journey of mastering the alchemy of life, turning glitches to gold and success into overflow. If you like the podcast, share the love, like, rate, and subscribe on your favourite platform. Hey, and welcome to today's episode of Glitches to Gold. And I'm Jo Warwick, and today we're talking about being responsible and what you're not responsible for. Now, I'm really speaking to those of us who have taken on responsibility for a long time in our lives of trying to heal, fix, resolve, help, uplift other people, the planet, for whatever reason, whether it's a spiritual calling, whether we felt it as a soul calling, as a survival mechanism, but that we've been through that phase of really believing we were responsible for healing and making everybody else happy. Now, maybe you're also being a mother, a partner, a family dynamic where you have played out running around after everybody. Now, I know we're counting down to Christmas, the holiday season, etc. There's lots of videos going around about mothers not being seen, and that generally women have fallen into these patterns in the past. But we're coming into a new energy, and as I'm speaking to you, this is a new moon that is calling out about responsibility. And I came across something that I had actually written in the Big Book of Love. I developed a model back in the day, and I often used it with my clients, and it is a triangle. And unlike the drama triangle, it was showing how in the reverse side, how you are in a triangle with your divinity, with your soul, with God, and that between yourself on one side, God, divinity, universe at the top, and then on the other side is the they, them, the other. And that can be the world, people, your partner, etc. Now, my caveat to this is, of course, if you have young children, this is a very different experience. But from where they become more self-sufficient and able to be, etc., and we're not talking about teenagers, we're talking about younger children. So this dynamic, whether the other has been your parents, has been humanity, has been men, has been women, has been the way that you have held responsibility for trying to not only make change, but trying to do it for them. And this can be such a deep programming that we may not realize because you've taken it on board when you were younger. Now, this has come to the forefront for me because I am fine-tuning. This is always happens for me when I'm running a mastermind, and I'm currently running, and you can still dive in today. It's a free 3-day mastermind. It's going to be open for another week, so you can catch up with the replays inside of Telegram. And when I'm doing something like this, I always fine tune and recalibrate just before and whilst I'm doing it. I get insights as well, because often what the collective needs inside of the group, and also for my own elevation, if I've been guided to lead something. And this came to the forefront for me, and it aligns with the new moon and this sense of dropping responsibility. And as we're coming to the end of the year, this end of this 9-year cycle, I say this again, but the end of the 9-year cycle from being the year of the snake, this dropping, shedding, releasing old identities. And it is an old identity, believing you are responsible for other human beings. And we all know, all have heard, you cannot make somebody else happy. And you can't. And that toxic relationship phase where you are codependent and you're trying to make somebody else happy. What we don't realize, though, is this comes from somewhere so deep in us as a survival mechanism that we want to make our parents happy, that we want to be validated and seen. Now, depending on your human design, you will have taken that on to in deeper levels, and projectors have a tendency to take it on in a really deep level, a deep programming. And I know for myself, I truly did believe I was here to save humanity, that I was living a Christ consciousness program of believing I was here to save, help, uplift. That was my only purpose, and I held that for many years. And yet, even now, even with this new moon, I came across a residue, a debris of a program that I was still playing out. These are glitches, yeah, glitches to gold, and why I'm sharing this. For you to think about, how are you still taking responsibility? Because if you were to draw out this triangle, and you draw out the triangle with the point at the top, and you drew a line through the middle, and the line through the middle from God, divinity, divine, drew a line down the middle, and actually decided the left hand side is you and the right hand side is them, you're only responsible for the left hand side. And the rest of it is free will of the other, and God in the middle, divinity in the middle, universe, life, whatever you want to call it, but it's in the middle. It's doing that part. The only part you are here to do is your part to the absolute fullest. Yeah, that's what we're really here to do, is only our part, our half, our bit of that triangle. The part of us that we can then fully express our perfect design. And I love the joy of human design in helping us as a framework to understand our alignment with our energy. But when we're in that side part, when we're only doing our half of the triangle, you're going to realize that things get to be easier, absolutely easier, because you're not doing somebody else's half, which you can never do for them. You will never get it done. It will never change for them unless they want to do it themselves. And when you're trying to do God's job, God slash universe, divine universe, etc., if you're trying to do God's job, well, get out of the fucking way because God does it much better. Divine does it much better. Universe does it much better than you could ever, ever, ever do it. And you're trying to control of that makes it so much smaller. So when we can see it as a visual and see that the only part that we need to do is our half, our part of it, to the fullest, we get to be in our delight. We get to receive. We get to shine. We get to realize that the only thing we're here to do is exchange our incredible, radiate, shine, our wisdom, our insight, our learning, our love, our joy, our passion is what we're here to radiate, what we're here to share, what we've learned, what we choose, and share it to the other without expectation. Without expectation and being responsible for their outcomes. Because the other, as a collective, some will get it, some won't. That's it. If you leave it up to God, the bit in the middle, the divinity, you can be sure that you're more likely to attract people who are ready to receive. If you try to control that bit, you're not going to attract them. So when we get out of the way and we say, I'm going to let them have free will. I'm going to let them have free will. And I get it. It's hard. I have a loved one who is poorly. She's got cancer and it's incredibly difficult. I want to help her. But I can help her by loving her and respecting that she's a powerful being. And I can be there as a listener. But I cannot fix it for her. It is part of her journey. It is part of her life. I can be there as support and love and guidance. And remember, there is another half to that triangle, and they are also in relationship to their divinity, to their God, to their universe, to their life. They have their own relationship with that point at the top that is a line all the way through. And that means that they have it on the inside and the outside. So when you can let go of that and realize that they have their own divinity, they have their own God particle, they have their own insight, they have their own connection to the universe, they have their own connection to the quantum field. It's all available to them because they're not different to you. They're exactly the same. It's a mirror. That's all it is. So when we recognize that, it's like, oh, can you forgive yourself for where you've been trying to get involved in the other half? And whether that other half is in your business or your relationships or friendships, etc. Trying to get too involved in the other. I mean, our whole society is built for us to get involved. You know, have emotions and feelings, get involved, try to pour your life force into something that is the other side of the world and you can't do anything about. You can send them love and light and prayers and then let it go. Love and light and prayers. Unless you can physically take action, unless you are physically called to take action, unless you can pay money to help them, that's fine. That's fine. That's good. That's right. If that feels good to you, that lights you up and turns you on, not because you're doing it from duty, because it's coming from heart and love and passion. And it feels aligned with your own inner divinity, your own God. If that feels like, that's my half and that feels so juicy to me, so good to me, so right to me, then I'm inspired to do it. But if I'm doing it because I'm trying to sort the other part, it's because I'm trying to do it out of feeling safe. And that was the reason that you ever did it, you ever took the program on in the beginning, was because you were trying to feel safe in this world when you were little, when you were small. So by trying to control, which is what fixing is, control, trying to fix, rescue, sort, it's all about control, believing that you can control nature, God, other people. Why would you want to control another human being? How awful is that? But instead, recognizing that they have a divinity in them and that you can do your part and hold the light on your side in your bigness, in your wisdom, in your expansion, in the fullness expression of yourself, and stop wasting your energy in something that is never yours. And I often think about the prayer for alcoholics, for AA. Give me the awareness that I am not responsible for this. That is the ultimate shift from any addiction. And it is an addiction. Trying to get your fingers involved in somebody else's business, whether it's an individual, a collective, a space, because everybody else is on different frequencies. And that's the one thing, once we learn about recognizing we are all on different frequencies, we are all in different paradigms, we are all experiencing this incredible journey, story of life. And we get to create it, we get to be it. And when we connect to our own divinity, we get to see it. We get to see it because we stop wasting our energy where it is not birthing fruit. When you pour your energy into something that is not meant for you, not anything to do with you, not your responsibility, it is like trying to plant flowers in dead earth. It's never going to happen. You can't revive dead earth. You need to put it where it's fertile. Yeah, if you want to grow crops, you put it where it's fertile, well, it's nourished and loved and supported. Put it your side with God and you will see a huge difference that then makes an impact to the world because you're holding your right frequency. You're holding your frequency of success. You're holding your frequency of divinity. You're holding your calling, your purpose. Then you will make change and you will help the people who are there on the frequency resonating with you. Those who are meant to see you, hear you, feel you will be there because you're no longer getting in the way of God or divinity or life or universe in the other way of other people. It's not your responsibility. And also by doing that responsibility, trying to take it from somebody else, they can't grow. You keep them powerless. You keep them like children. You're reaching out to them and speaking to them like children. And that's very important if you have your own business, to speak to your tribe, your collective, as equals. You're not here to be their mother, their father. If you try that, that's what you'll attract. Your job in this new world at 2026, as we come into 2026 and we're coming at the end of 2025, what can you let go of holding a responsibility that was never yours? And grieving for the feeling that it might feel really uncomfortable because you're programmed to believe that you should feel guilty, you should feel shamed, you should feel fear. These are all child feelings. They are not reality. Because when you are free of taking responsibility for somebody else in that codependent game, no matter what it is, however big the collective of the other is, and you get out of the way and you see them for who they really are, incredible souls on their own journey, supported by their own divinity, loved and available to them is everything that is available to you. We all have the same things available to us to tap into, to change, to uplift. Then we let them do it. And we get to no longer play out believing we are better than others. That's narcissistic. And to think that when you're thinking you're loving and respecting and rescuing and fixing, that's narcissistic. It's no different. So put it down. Even if it's just a debris, even if it's just a fragment of a behavior you used to have, forgive yourself and put it down. It's time to do it differently. Look at your life as you step into 2026 to do it differently. And I can absolutely guarantee that you will see a huge change if you want to join in with the star of the show. If it resonates with your frequency, go and check out all the details inside of glitchestogold.com. Go on, head over there. It's all there for you. Link is in the notes. And also, if you are a generator or a manifesting generator, you may be more attracted to the instant access masterclass, of course, undercharged, which is all about holding your burn. But they are all founded on the same things. If you really want to dive in deeper and hold your frequency for this coming year and really see the results, because you're letting go of getting involved in everybody else's stuff, and you want to approach your business, your life, your relationships, everything from a place of sovereignty and alignment, and see the big results in money and love and everything else in between, then you want to dive inside of the Legacy portal and, of course, get my help one-to-one. So it's all there for you to check out. I so appreciate having you in my world. This has been a divinely loving ass kicking for all of us, for all of us, as we shed at the end of this year, coming with this new moon and into 2026. It is time for change. This is your curtain call. It's time for you to be the star of the show. It's time for you to hold your light and truly make the impact you were born to make by being in a true alignment with your frequency of success, with your human design, and to see the gold results. So let's turn those glitches into gold. Let's have a fantastic end to the year and beginning of 2026. And I'm sending you so much love.